Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do my very first monthly TBR, which will be my March TBR, and I'm also going to talk about the two books that I am currently reading. So let's get straight into it. At the moment I've got two books on the go. If you watched my last video, which was my February wrap up, in which I'm wearing the same outfit because it's the same day and I'm pre-filming, you will have seen me say that I usually have at least two books on the go. Always have one in my handbag for commuting and my lunch break, and then I have one at home for reading in the evenings and at the weekends. So the book that I started first was the one that's in my handbag, which is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. So I'm trying to read more classics this year, and I went into Waterstones last month and bought a whole bunch because they had these beautiful Penguin English library editions, which are paperbacks but they look like the cloth bound ones, just lovely. So I bought a few of those, and this is the one I'm reading at the moment. For those of you that don't know, this is Oscar Wilde's only full-length novel, and it tells the story of Dorian Gray, and he has a portrait painted of himself, and basically every time he does something bad it shows in the portrait, and the portrait ages but he doesn't. So it's kind of got a gothic sort of magical realism feel to it. I'm only about a quarter of the way through. It's quite well paced for a classic so far, although it's taken me a little while to get through, and it's not quite what I was expecting, but that's what I'm reading at the moment, so I will let you know my full thoughts in my March wrap up, because obviously this is not a wrap up. Then I'm also reading The Roses of May by Dot Hutchinson. This is the second novel in the, I'm not actually sure what the series is called, but the first one is called The Butterfly Garden, and it's about a serial killer who abducts young girls, takes them to his garden, and then turns them into human butterflies. It's really dark and gruesome, the first one. I did really enjoy that book. I think I gave it either 4 or 5 stars, and this is the second one. So far, I'm finding this one a little bit choppy. We are seeing some of the characters from the first book. We've also got new characters, and it's kind of all moving between different storylines, and I am getting through it. I will probably finish it this weekend. I'm not completely sure what I think of it yet, but that's the other book that I'm currently reading. And then I've got 5 other books that I would definitely like to get to in March. The first of those is The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. I read Practical Magic last year and just adored it. Really loved it. Completely different to the film, so not what I was expecting, but I just loved it. It had really strong themes of sisterhood and being a woman, and yeah, I adored it. This is the prequel to it, and it kind of talks about the Owens women and their history, and I'm really excited to get to it. So if you've read it, please let me know what it was like, and we'll see what I make of it when I do my March wrap up at the start of next month. Next, I have got another classic. This was one of the other English library editions that I bought from Waterstones, and that is Dracula by Bram Stoker. I've never read this. I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's actually not really about Dracula, it's more about the people that are trying to hunt him down. It's quite big, so I am a little bit nervous. I think it's 450 pages, so it's quite chunky for a classic, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I will give it a go and we'll see what I think. Another one that I'm really excited to read, although slightly hesitant about it, because it says on the front, obsessed with The Handmaid's Tale, this brilliant book is one for you. The Handmaid's Tale is my favourite novel, my favourite book, and I've read several books that say they are like The Handmaid's Tale, and they never are. So we'll see how we go with this one. But anyway, this book is Gather the Daughters by Jennie Melamed. And on the back it says, on a small isolated island there's a community that lives by its own rules. Boys grow up knowing they will one day take charge, while girls will be married and pregnant within moments of hitting womanhood. But before that time comes, there's a tradition that offers children an exhilarating taste of freedom. Every summer they are turned out onto their doorsteps to roam the island, sleep on the beach and build camps in trees. And it is at the end of such a summer that one of the younger girls sees something she was never supposed to see, and returns home with a truth that could bring the island world to its knees. So I'm really intrigued to see what this is like. And is it as good as The Handmaid's Tale? Probably not, but that doesn't mean I won't enjoy it along the way, but we'll see. Then another one that's a dystopian fiction book that I've seen around quite a bit is 84K by Claire North. This has got a really intriguing concept because it's set in a dystopian society where instead of going to prison, they work out the actual cost to society of a crime, and then you can either go to prison or you can just pay your debt and move on, which obviously brings in the topic of money, because those that could afford to pay the fines can then presumably do whatever they want because then they can just pay for it, and those that can't afford it will have to go to prison for really minor things. So I'm really intrigued to see what this is like. I've heard mixed things, but I'm excited to see what I think. And also, how nice is that cover? That's one of the best covers I've seen for ages, so excited to get to this. Okay, and then the last book that I really want to get to in March is quite a chunker. Where are we? Like 600 pages? Yeah, 660 pages, so it's a big old book, and that is Sovereign by CJ Sansom. Sorry. So this is the third in the Matthew Shardlake series. I've read the first two. I read one towards the end of last year and one at the start of this year, and they are set in Tudor times during the reign of Henry VIII, and they're basically detective novels. So I don't know anything really about this one except it's the third one. I really like the characters. I've loved the book so far, and I'm excited to see what this one's like. So there we go. I will also have on my TBR whichever book you guys have chosen for me to reread for this month, which is either The Time Traveller's Wife or The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. Obviously at this point I haven't put the poll up, so I don't know which one it is, but that will also get added in. Please let me know below what you guys are reading this month. Are you reading any of these books? Have you read them already? Let's have a chat in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks, bye!